Hey everyone, Kimura here. Sorry that it's been a while. I had a lot of traveling to do during the holidays, but I hope you had a good New Year's. Before I begin full development on Mojave Mo Problems, I wanted to put out one more update for Wasteland Reborn. This doesn't mean Wasteland Reborn is getting discontinued, I'm just moving it into a form of maintenance mode while I work on my other mod lists. Before we get into it though, there's just a few things I'd like to mention first. With the new year, I'm really aiming to lean more into this channel and its content. I've got a few different kinds of videos that I'm looking into making, and I'd love to hear your feedback on them. First, I've got the Fallout Fan Bible. This is going to be a video series where I create fan lore to fill in the gaps and mistakes that have come up in the 27 years of Fallout's development. This series is going to be hosted as an in-universe post-war radio show. My first episode will be on power armor, with future entries covering things like pre-war culture, weapons, and the timeline. Next, I'm going to be continuing my build guide series for Wasteland Reborn. Due to an inclusion of a certain mod in this update, I'll be able to branch out character backstories beyond the limitations of Fallout 4's main story. The next build will be The Courier. Yes, that one. If you're interested in anything like that, feel free to subscribe. If you have any ideas for videos, feel free to comment or send me a message on my Discord. I'll be sure to give you a shout out when I get to it. Now, on to the update. To start with, this update is not save safe. There are some changes in this update that are a little bit more extreme than what could happen in a normal 0.1 type update. As such, to update, you'll need to restart your saves. I've made quite a few changes to the playing experience. The max level is now 50, down from 80, and most perks in the game have had their numbers of ranks decreased. As an effect, perks in the early game will be marginally more powerful, while the lower total number of ranks will cause an overall decrease in player power later on. This update also brings some more tweaks to weathers and lighting to improve overall visual fidelity. I've reintroduced some features that I previously disabled, like ENB's multipass bloom and depth of field, and I've also made the third-person camera center on the player when outside of combat. A good number of weathers have had their color grading changed so that they appear more natural, but still stylized enough to convey the mood they're intended to have. I've also adjusted the sunrise and sunset times back to their original values, as I felt it was better paced for gameplay. Nights have been brightened across the board, though they still should be significantly darker than the base game. You might still need a flashlight occasionally, but it should no longer be completely mandatory to play at night. After some feedback I received on my last video, I've decided to remake a good number of characters' faces. These faces were designed with identity and personality in mind, instead of being made explicitly good looking. The faces on screen now are just a few of the people who have been changed. There's also been quite a bit of behind-the-scenes changes and bug fixes in 1.1. Notably, the only consistent crash that's been reported to me has been fixed, as well as dozens of bugs. Outside of the leveling system changes, I've made a few other balance changes you might want to know about. Codsworth and Remy's base damage has been reduced by half. Originally, they were both overtuned and could often kill enemies well before the player could reach them. I've also reduced the number of weapons that weapon vendors can stock, so they no longer have an extreme abundance of items at all times. Finally, I've reduced the number of items that are directly injected into leveled lists, so new games should load faster. In the future, more injections will be changed to direct edits. In terms of new mods, I've added Start Me Up Redux. This means you can finally play alternative characters in a way that's more immersive than in the base game. Oh, and you can smoke now, if you want to do that. And that's about it. By this point, Wasteland Reborn is basically complete from my point of view. I'll still do some bug fixes and updates going forward, but after this video goes live, I'm primarily going to be working on Mojave Mo Problems. Expect a public build of that list pretty soon. I'd like to thank my patrons, Mano, Mastacook, Tom, Dapper, Verena, Din Jarin, Jirmar, Medium Chungus, Nate, The Rige, Smoovie, William Deverell, and our newest patron, Dr. Calamity, who subscribed to my Patreon literally while I'm recording this. Again. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.